The Silent Witness. Setting. The story unfolds in San Francisco during the late 1960s, a city pulsing with energy but shadowed by fear. The Bay Area is teetering on the edge of chaos as a series of brutal murders grip the community. Main characters. Detective Sarah Malone, a dedicated investigator haunted by the unsolved cases of the Zodiac Killer. Tommy Jensen, a young newspaper reporter eager to make a name for himself. The Zodiac Killer, an unidentified serial killer who taunts authorities with cryptic letters. Prologue. The year was 1969, and the air was thick with uncertainty. A string of murders had left the Bay Area in a state of alarm. The Zodiac Killer, as the press had dubbed him, was on the loose, leaving behind a trail of cryptic messages and a community paralyzed by fear. Chapter 1. The First Encounter. Detective Sarah Malone stood in her cluttered office, staring at the latest letter from the Zodiac. It was postmarked from somewhere in California, and the message was as chilling as ever. I like killing people because it is so much fun. Sarah had dedicated her career to catching this elusive killer. Each case file sprawled across her desk felt like a reminder of her failures. As the clock ticked on, she knew time was running out, not just for the victims, but for her own resolve. Chapter 2. The New Blood. Enter Tommy Jensen, a youthful reporter with dreams of uncovering the next big scoop. He approached Sarah one afternoon, brimming with ideas. I want to write a piece on the Zodiac. I think I can help. Sarah sighed, her experience telling her to dismiss the eager journalist. This isn't a game. Kid, people are dying. But there was something in Tommy's determination that intrigued her. She decided to let him tag along for a while. Together, they could sift through the evidence, analyze the clues, and perhaps, just perhaps, unearth something that had eluded the police for so long. Chapter 3. Digging Deeper. As weeks passed, Sarah and Tommy pored over the Zodiac's letters, the police reports, and interviews with witnesses. They found patterns in his behavior, a dark artistry in his cryptic messages. One evening, while reviewing a map of the murder sites, Tommy noticed something. Look at this. He pointed. The locations form a circle. What if he's using the parks as a hunting ground? Sarah nodded, her heart racing. We need to check these areas. Maybe we can find something he left behind. Chapter 4. The hunt begins. Their investigation took them to Lake Berryessa, one of the locations of the Zodiac's known attacks. The sun dipped low, casting shadows that almost felt alive. As they approached the scene, Sarah's instincts kicked in. Stay alert, she warned Tommy. He could be anywhere. While searching the area, they stumbled upon a small, hidden grove. As they moved through the brush, they found remnant of a campfire and unusual markings on the trees, akin to the symbols found in the killer's letters. I think we're onto something, Tommy whispered, jotting down notes vigorously. Chapter 5. Cryptic Messages. Back in the precinct, Sarah and Tommy began decoding the symbols. They discovered that some matched the Zodiac's letters, suggesting the killer had returned to the scene of his crimes. Days turned into nights filled with sleepless hours of analysis, but they finally came across an unsettling revelation. The Zodiac seemed to be taunting them, leading them to believe he was always one step ahead. Why would he leave these signs? Tommy pondered aloud. Maybe he wants us to know he's watching, Sarah replied, her heart racing at the thought. Chapter 6. The Confrontation. The breakthrough came when they received an anonymous tip. Meet me at the old observatory, the voice said, trembling with fear. I know who the Zodiac is. With adrenaline pumping, Sarah and Tommy raced to the observatory, uncertain of what awaited them. They arrived to find a hooded figure waiting, trembling in the shadows. I saw him. He's been in this area, the figure stammered. He's watching you. Before they could ask more questions, a sudden noise echoed from the trees. The figure bolted, disappearing into the darkness. Wait! Sarah shouted, but it was too late. They were left with nothing but uncertainty and a lingering fear that the Zodiac was closer than they realized. Chapter 7. The Fallout. The days that followed were filled with tension. Sarah felt the weight of her choices pressing down on her. The pressure from the media and the public was mounting, and she feared that if they didn't catch the Zodiac soon, he would strike again. In a tense meeting with her superiors, Sarah laid out their findings. We need to grid the entire area and increase patrols. He's playing with us, and we can't let him win. Chapter 8. The Final Clue. As the investigation heated up, Sarah received a call from Tommy. "I found something," he said breathlessly. "A hidden message in one of the letters that leads to a potential hideout." They rushed to the location, an abandoned warehouse near the docks. The atmosphere was heavy with anticipation. Inside, they found evidence of past crimes, items stolen from victims, more cryptic symbols, and chilling reminders of the killer's twisted mind. Suddenly, they heard footsteps behind them. Turning quickly, they were met with a figure cloaked in darkness. It was then they realized they had walked into a trap. Chapter 9. The Face of Evil. "Did you really think you could catch me?" The figure sneered, stepping into the light. It was a man they had seen in police sketches. The Zodiac Killer stood before them, more terrifying than they had imagined. In an adrenaline-fueled confrontation, Sarah and Tommy fought back, leveraging their training and instincts. But the Zodiac was cunning and had the upper hand. In a moment of chaos, shots rang out, echoing through the warehouse. Sarah instinctively pushed Tommy to the ground, narrowly avoiding a bullet. Chapter 10. The Aftermath. The police arrived just in time to apprehend the Zodiac, but not before he managed to escape into the shadows, leaving behind only a taunting note. Though they had not captured him, Sarah felt a sense of closure. The investigation had been a testament to her resolve and determination. As Tommy wrote his article, he realized that even in failure, there were lessons to be learned. They had come closer than anyone before, and though the Zodiac remained a ghost, the fight against crime was far from over. Epilogue: A City in Shadows. The Zodiac Killer was never brought to justice, remaining a phantom in the city's history. But Sarah and Tommy's relentless pursuit of truth inspired a new generation of detectives and journalists to continue the fight against crime. The shadows in the alleyways of San Francisco would always hold secrets, but the search for justice would never cease.